Hey guys, this is Jared Dodson with the Garage Game Series, VP of Education. Speaking to the judges today, we're here at CrossFit Birmingham. You can see that the workout of the day is 13.2. 10-minute AMRAP, 5 shoulder to overhead at 115 for the guys, 75 for the ladies, 10 deadlifts, 15 box jumps, 24 and 20. All these folks are talking to the athletes, and that's great, but I want to talk to some judges because 13.1, it's fairly easy to judge. Did they hit the mark at the top? Did the chest hit the deck on the burpees? And did they lock it out overhead on the snatches? Not so easy on 13.2. We're going to have a lot of variation in terms of technique on the shoulder to overhead. There's some issues with the deadlift that we got to make sure and check. And in the box jumps, there's some issues going on there too. So we want to make sure that the judges are making sure that they're counting every rep that counts. So I'm here with Ellie today, and we're just going to go through each one of the movements and some of the problems that we're talking about. With regards to where you need to be when you are judging these movements, I'm not going to be able to see whether or not she reaches full lockout overhead and whether or not she's got the bar on her shoulders for these shoulder to overhead. So if I'm going to be judging Ellie, I don't need to be standing in front of her, I need to be standing beside her. Go ahead and pick the bar up. So that way I can confirm she's got the bar on her shoulders, and when she locks it out overhead, go ahead. That she's got that full lockout position, elbows solid, shoulders locked out, hips and knees in alignment. That's an acceptable rep once she reaches back down to that point. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the faults we're going to see with regards to the shoulder overhead. So first thing we're going to see is a lack of lockout at the top. So she's going so fast trying to get these repped out, she's not going to reach that full lockout at the top. Give me 3 or 4 reps. There you go. See how that elbow doesn't quite reach lockout? That would be a no rep. You need to vocalize that to her to let her know what's going on. No rep, give me a lockout. Another thing we're going to see, especially once everybody starts getting fatigued, is going to be they move from a push press to a jerk. And they may not reach that full lockout overhead position once again. So she's going to jerk it, and then she recovers too quickly. So she jerks it, reaches that full lockout with her arms, but her knees are still bent, begins to recover as she stands back up. So let's see a couple reps like that. So you'll see she never stands it all the way up once she locks out her elbows. So we've got to be careful on those to make sure that we always see the barbell go from the shoulder directly to overhead. So those are some common faults you're going to need to see. You're going to need to be able to communicate that with the athlete, letting them know what's going on with that particular issue. Now we're going to move on to the deadlift and some of the issues that we see with the deadlift. Once again, you're going to want to be standing to the side. So it's quite nice that we're going from 5 shoulder to overhead to 10 deadlifts. The judges are going to have to move very much. We've got to see that barbell move from the ground up to a fully locked out position where the shoulders end up behind the barbell at the top of the movement. So if we give you a couple of good reps, you'll notice she's getting her hips locked out, her knees locked out, and her shoulders end up behind the bar. Those are good reps. So some things you're going to see on this particular movement is a shortening of it. She doesn't reach that full lockout at the top. So she's shortening that. The hip doesn't open all the way, and the barbell doesn't get behind the shoulders. Another thing you're going to have to be careful of, if you've got a fire breather who's moving really quick, they might actually try to bounce the bar on you. All right, see if she can do it. Notice she's not reaching all the way down. The barbell is bouncing back up into her hands and she's picking it back up. Those would be no reps. You got to tell them, take the bar all the way down to the ground and pick it back up. So here's a tricky thing with this particular workout. You've got 5 shoulder to overhead, 10 deadlifts, 15 box jumps. As your judge, tell them where they are in the workout. So if they're getting close to that last rep, tell them 8, 9, 10, move into box jumps. Let's go ahead and go to box jumps. On the box jumps, the standard is you have to start with the feet on the ground, and you have to show control at the top of the box with both feet on the box. Do it, please. And then open your hips fully. So some of the faults we're going to see on this is they don't show control at the top of the box, they begin to fall off. So let's see a couple of those. So you notice she's not standing on the box, opening her hips all the way. Another thing you're going to see is as they get fatigued, they kind of jump, half land on the box, and open their hips up as they begin to fall off. Let's see that. They're going to fall off. There you go. That would be a no rep as well. We've got to make sure that they get on top of the box. So as you're going through these workouts, a couple of things we want to make sure. You're counting out loud, communicating with the athlete as to what the issues are if they're getting no rep. Counting out loud, making sure they know where they are in the workout, and they know where they are in terms of the rounds and on their time. So make sure the clock's always visible for you, that you can check it at a glance. Make sure that you know where your rep is, and have a sheet of paper that you can make your tick marks on, so that as they work through the actual 13.2, they know how many rounds they have, and you can keep up with it. So if you've got any questions, hit me up at jared@thegaragegames.com is my email address. You can hit me up on the Twitters at @thegaragegames. But I appreciate your time. If you need anything, let us know. Thanks.